Hey, it's Sarah Lynn, and I'm here with the Stack, Sculpt, and Stretch workout. This is great for your third trimester. I myself am 35 weeks at this point, and these are the exercises I've been doing on a regular basis to keep my strength, keep my posture, my alignment as best as I can as my body continues to expand and spread and stretch. And these are great exercises for preparing you for after the baby is born as well, with some upper body concentration for when the baby comes. So we're going to use I have a ballet bar here, but you don't have to use a ballet bar. You can use a kitchen counter, you can use a chair, you can use anything that gives you a little bit of stability. This room has tons of shelves in it. You could use a shelf if you had something like that. You just want to make sure that you can use it for some added balance. Okay, so we're going to start standing facing the side with the feet hip distance apart and parallel. And we're going to have one hand on the bar for balance if needed. If you don't need it, you can keep your arms down by your side. I want you to soften your knees a little bit. We're going to start with some pelvic tilts. So you're going to let your tailbone fly back behind you, and on an exhale, use your abdominal wall to hug the baby to the spine. Inhale, let the tailbone go. Exhale. Feel like water is dripping down your tailbone to the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. We're really trying to isolate the tailbone and the pelvis. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Now you can use your glutes a little, but I really want you to focus on using your abdominals to pull up rather than your glutes to push forward. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now I want you to try and straighten your legs, keeping that alignment in your tailbone. This should feel like a little bit of a release in your low back. As you get bigger and throughout pregnancy, your pelvis will tilt anteriorly more and more and more. And that is normal and natural, and it's not a bad thing. But you do want to bring attention to the muscles of your abdominals just slightly. We're not engaging them so much that you're forcing that contraction, but it's more like a slight lift up and in so that you feel the baby hugging in and up towards the ribs a little more than dropping down towards the low back. And that will help release these muscles in the lower back a little bit and keep your alignment intact as much as you can. From here, I want you to widen your legs, toe heel the feet out. You're going to find that alignment in the pelvis again. Shoulders are back. And I actually want you to practice one thing. We're going to practice slouching the shoulders. This is so unattractive, and you can notice the space between the boobs and the belly gets shorter and shrunken. And now I want you to lift the boobs off the belly. Do that again. Shrink it down, and then lift them up. Let them collapse. Now as you lift them up, it's not a displacement of your ribs forward. What it is a rolling back of the shoulders, a tightening through the erector spinae of the thoracic spine, and the lengthening through the crown of the head. Try two more. Collapse. Boobs off the belly. One more time. Collapse. Shoulders back. Thoracic spine lengthens, and you come up. Now, from this position, this is your home base. I want you to come back to this every time. You're going to start nodding your chin, rolling down. One vertebrae at a time, let your knees bend. You're going to feel like once you get to the belly, there's a big chunk of your back that moves as one piece. Inhale, and as you exhale, push down into all 10 toes. Shoulders roll back. Push into the heels. Boobs off the belly. Ears over the shoulders. Let's try that again. Roll it down. This is great on the days that you maybe don't feel like doing a full workout, or you just want to bring some attention to your alignment. Maybe you're feeling a little bit sore. Shoulders back. Now, as you roll up, tighten through the hamstrings. Use those hamstrings to pull your tailbone back into place. Your abdominals engage. The upper erectors engage, and you come up. Last time, roll it down. Legs are wide because you need to make room for that belly, right? Come all the way down. hold it here, place the hands on the floor, bend the knees, draw the hips down. Let the heels come up for these first couple. Let's press the heels back down, roll it up, shoulders are back. All the way up. Let's do that one more time. Roll it down. We're going to come into that squat again at the bottom. Knees bend. Now you can hang out here for a minute if you're feeling tight in your low back. Keep those knees bent so it helps you keep your tailbone down. You can swing just slightly. Be very gentle. And roll it all the way down. Hands come to the floor. Now, widen your toes. Squat it down. And let's go from one leg to the other. Opening up the hips. I want you to feel like you're getting into your squat position slowly. If this bothers your knees, roll up a towel. Put the towel underneath your heels. Okay? Come back to center. Roll your way back up. This time when you get down to the bottom, you're going to hold your squat. You can keep your hands on the floor or we can try and lift them off, okay? Widen your legs. They should be wider than hip distance now. Toes are pointing outward at about a 45-degree angle. Find your alignment through the tailbone, the pelvis, the shoulders, boobs off the belly. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Bending the knees. Roll through the spine. Let your knees bend a little more. Hands can come to the floor. Let's hold this squat from here. Now, elbows are right on the inside of those knees. I gotta shift myself a little bit. I want you to try and shift your weight back into your heels and lift those hands. Lift through your chest. You might need to adjust yourself a little bit. And hold here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try to push your knees back slightly. Breathing in. Get longer in the spine. Breathe it out. Hands come to the floor. Roll yourself back up, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders back. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale, roll it down. Let the knees bend. Aim those hands to the ground. Find your squat position. Hips drop back. You can wiggle slightly. Now from here, elbows into the knees. Lengthen the spine, shoulders back. Tighten the stomach. Breathe. Exhale. Breathe. Exhale. Keep your hands on the floor if it's uncomfortable. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hands to the floor. Rock your body weight into your hands as you start to roll your way back up. Use your glutes to help you. Come all the way up. Now I'm going to come to the back side of the bar so that I can put both hands on the bar. We're going to start with knees and feet together. And I want you to find that alignment in your pelvis again. Shoulders are back. Rock your weight to your heels. Rotate from the upper thigh to bring those legs open. You only have about a 45-degree angle in your feet, okay? Now we're going to do some demi-pliés. It's taken from ballet. And as you bend, make sure the knees are going straight over the second and third toe. Tailbone is going to try to aim downward. So I don't want you to let your butt fly back. Keep the belly hugging the baby into your ribs. Inhale here. Exhale, bend. Inhale up. Think of it as being elastic, and as you go down, you're getting longer through your spine, okay? 2 more there, and then we add on. As you come back up, tighten that tush. 1 more time. Down. and back up. Keep your hands very, very light on the bar. It's just for assistance. Now you're gonna bend. Lift the heels. Try to really push the knees back as the heels lift. Straighten the legs, tightening the tush and the calves, and come back down. Do it again. Bend. Lift. Straighten. 2 more. Bend. Lift. This is great for your feet too. As you start to retain more water, you might notice your feet start to feel stiff or numb. This is great to keep that fluid moving in there. Lift. Strong feet push you up. Come back down. Last time. Bend. Heels up. Straighten the legs. Now we reverse that 4 times. Heels come up. Bend the knees. Heels down. Tighten the tush. Open through the front of the hip. Straighten. Try it again. Up. And bend. Heels down. Open the hips. Tighten the tush. Up. And bend. I'm getting a little shaky. Heels down. I think we have one more. Up. And bend. Boobs stay off the belly. And up. Great job. Widen the legs. We're going to just do some calf raises from here, or releves as they're known in ballet. I want you to do them 10 times, trying to lighten your grip on the bar every time. Keeping the hips open. Inhale. Exhale, lift. 1. And 2. See if you can do it with no hands. 3. But keep them close just in case. 4. You can really challenge yourself by going out to the side. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. From here, get it a little wider. Knees are directly over the toes. Toes are 45 degrees. Inhale here. Exhale, bend. Now, as you're bending, this time we're not going to the full squat. You're going down as deep as you can into a goddess pose, and I want you to think about trying to keep your spine in the same alignment as you go down, so that you're not bending forward, you're not leaning back, you're staying right on top of those hips. Here we go. I'm going to move back a little bit, and bend, and up, again, and up. Use the tush, bend, and up. Keep your alignment nice and stacked, and up. Shoulders stay back, bend, and up. Let's do 2 more. Bend, up. Last time. You can try it with no hands, and up. Now from here, with the legs wide, you might even need to go a little wider. We're going to bend side and up. Other side and up. Now I want you to lift the heel and up. Lift the heel and up. Keep that tush working nice and strong in the glutes. And up. And up. 1 more each side. Think about really rotating, opening through here. Now, I want you to turn your legs so that they're a little more parallel. We're going to go down again, keeping the heel down this time, bending to the side, and then up, and then again, and up. Bend a little lower. You should feel a really great stretch through your inner thigh. Try to really keep the hands light. Last 2. Last 1. Keep those tailbones underneath you. Other side. Exhale. And up. Your body on this one might tip forward a slight amount at the hip. That's okay. Just try to minimize it. Up. 4 more. Hope your legs are feeling warm. 3, 2 more, 2. Last time, knee goes right over that toe. Bring it up. Now we're gonna toe heel the heels back in. Squeeze the tush every time those heels come in. Now, we're gonna do a little hip listing. What this means is, we're gonna work on standing on one leg, keeping the hips square. Notice that when your hips are hip distance, or your legs are hip distance apart, if your hips are square, that means they're level with one another. When you shift your leg, your balance to one leg, if you drop into one hip, this means there's a lack of work being done in your lateral hip muscles, which are your glute medius and minimus. You want to really make sure that we're able to stay very square even when standing on one leg. This is so important for keeping strength in and around the pelvis, especially as, number one, your pelvis is widening and stretching to accommodate for baby. But number two, also, as you think forward to holding a child on one hip, and we usually do this in order to keep that kid upright, I want you to commit yourself to, number one, doing these exercises for the lateral hip, and number two, when you do have a child on your hip, switching from side to side so that you're never getting used to just one hip being lifted. Okay, so here we go. What you're gonna do, bend one knee, and I want you to try and keep the knees together as much as you can. Let's try that again. When you take your foot off the ground, did your hips shift? Hopefully they didn't. Let's just do 3 like that. Exhale. Keeping your hands on the bar if you need the balance. Now hold here. Let your hips sink. Now you're going to lift yourself back to a square hip, first curling the tailbone slightly, and using the muscles back here on your standing leg to get you back up. Try not to confuse it with lifting the right hip from your quadratus lumborum, or that low back. I want you to lift from the glute over here. So push down into that standing leg. Let it drop. Push down into the standing leg. Let it drop. Push. At the same time, see if you can really squeeze the hips slightly forward, and you'll really feel it. You should feel a nice strength work back here. This is also a great exercise to do off a step or a stool. So I would stand on the stool on one leg. If you're on a stool, you can leave the other leg straight. Let it drop off the side, and then just do the same thing. 2 more. 1 more. Switching legs. So we're going to do the alignment check first, making sure that you're in a square position. This side's much harder for me, I'm just going to warn you. You're going to lift one leg and put it down. Lift it again. See if you can test yourself. Do you have to use your hands? On this side, I notice if I don't use my hands, did you see me shift? That's because this side's weaker. 1 more and hold it there. Now, sink into the hip. Scoop that hip under. Press down into that right foot. Do it again. Sink. Push. Sink. Try to unlock the knee. Push. Sink. Push. Last 2. Sink. And push. Hopefully we had the same amount on both sides. If not, feel free to adjust accordingly. I'm going to do 2 more just because I know this side is my weaker side. Push down. It can use it. Oh, feel that glute. 1 more time. And push. Great job. Okay, now I'm going to have you come down to the mat. We're going to do a little bit more with that lateral hip. You need the band for this. You are going to take the band, tie it around both knees. Okay? Not the band. And then lie on your side. We're going to do some clams first. So I want you to line your spine from your tailbone to your head up with the back of the mat. And then bring both knees together. Bring your shins to the front of the mat. Lay your head down, and then we're just gonna slide the shoulder under and make sure that you have a little waist here, a waistline, a little mouse house, if you will. And from here, we're gonna lift the knee only. Exhale, push it back and bring it in. Push it back and in. You're trying not to move the hip, just the knee. Exhale, inhale, 2 more. Exhale, 1 more. Now, you're going to lift the foot as well, but keep the knee a little higher than the foot. Lift and down. Use this hand on top of your hip to remind you to keep the hip away from your rib. Up. You should feel it in the glutes, not in the waist. Again. Last 2. 1 more. Great job. Let's bring the knees back in line with the body. From here, bring your elbow underneath you. We're going to do a little star or shortened side plank before we switch sides. So from here, hips are forward a little, knees are back. I want you to exhale to lift off the ground. I need to bring my elbow in a little, and we're going to lift the arm at the same time. I want you to think of your lift as coming from the waist on the bottom side. Great job. Try not to arch your lower back too much. Last 2. Last 1. Exhale it up. All right, swing around the other side. Start with the clams. So, shins are aligned with the front edge of the mat. Spine is aligned with the back edge of the mat. Find your shoulder placement. Lift the bottom rib. Hip is long on the top side. You should feel it going down away from you. And we're going to lift just the knee first. Now, if you do this exercise from a collapsed position in the waist, chances are you won't feel the right muscle. Alignment is key in order to get the muscles to fire in the pattern that they're designed to. So you need to make sure that your alignment is on before you start the exercise, okay? 2, 1 more, 1. Lifting the knee and the foot. This is 2, almost there. 3, 4, 4 more. 5, oh, those muscles are getting tired. 6, you got it. 7 and 8. All right, knees come back. Let's do our star. Elbow, elbow, hip, knee, all in alignment. Here we go. Exhale it up and down and down. Great job. 3, lifting from that bottom oblique. 4, let's just do 2 more. 5, last time. 6, great job. Hey, and welcome back. This is the Sculpt section of the workout. For this section of the workout, you're going to need a band, and the resistance is up to you. Just keep in mind that the tighter the band, the more support you'll get for instance, your back, core, and stomach, but the tighter the band, the harder it's going to be on your arms. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to start seated on your mat. Now, if you feel like you're especially tight in your hamstrings, hip flexors, or lower back, whether it's just for today or if as you get bigger in your pregnancy you're starting to feel more tension in the hips and the back, then please sit on something. Something about the width of a phone book should be sufficient. If you're still feeling tension or if you can't sit completely upright, then you're going to want to sit on something a little higher. And you can even go up to something as big as a chair if you need to. Okay, so you're going to sit on your sits bones facing the side, and we're going to put the band around the feet. Now, because the belly is getting kind of big, you're going to leave your legs hip distance apart or a little wider, and I want you to rock side to side from here and just make sure you can feel those bones in the bottom of your bum. those sits bones, and stay on top of them. And I want you to just take a couple deep breaths from here. We're going to inhale through the nose. As you exhale, I want you to feel the belly and the baby pull in towards the back. Inhale again. Nice deep breath into the back if you can, breathing into the bra line. Inhale. Exhale, pull the belly and baby in. One more. Inhale, deep cleansing breath. Exhale. Okay, now we're ready to start. Holding on to your band. Your knees are going to be slightly bent from here. You're going to inhale to grow tall through the back of the head. Exhale as you curl the tailbone, releasing through the lower back, using the band for support, and inhale to sit up tall. Heels should stay on the mat. Exhale, roll it back. Keep the shoulders moving with you so that the band doesn't pull you forward into protraction. Inhale. Exhale back. Inhale up. I don't want you to go too far. It's really just about rounding through the lumbar spine, releasing those low back muscles that hold you upright all day long. Inhale up. Think about mobilizing. Exhale. Moving one vertebrae at a time. Inhale up. One more. Exhale back. Now from here, inhale it back up. I want you to grip the band on top so that palms face down. We're adding on. You exhale to roll back. From here, elbows go up and out into a row. Come back in. 7 more. 2. Exhale. 3. Think if you can curl the tailbone, but simultaneously lift the ribs up and forward over the belly. 6, 7, and 8. Straighten the arms, lift back up, get taller, do it again. Exhale back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, pull. 1. And tighten those shoulders. Think about the rhomboids right back there in the upper spine area, right between the shoulders. 5, 6, 7, one more, and 8. Straighten the arms up, get nice and tall. Take one foot out of the band, slide the band around so it's longer on one side than the other. Sitting nice and tall, turn your palm over. We're going to work on external rotation. So with the elbow fixed at your waist, exhale, twist. That's 1. 2. Even in this position, make sure that you're sitting on both sits bones evenly. 4. 5. 6. Think of opening a door. 7. And 8. We're working on the muscles of the shoulder girdle, which are going to be so important when you are starting to carry around a baby that's getting progressively heavier every week. So now again, slide it down, sitting nice and tall, hands in, exhale, rotate. 1, 2. Try to open the collarbone. Think about width through the chest. 5, 6, 7, last time, and 8. From here, take the band off. We're going to sit nice and comfortably. Cross your legs. From here, lay the band out flat, and you're going to take it and put it behind your shoulders, like a shawl. We're going to get ready for spine twist. Now, one note about twisting. This is important anytime, but especially when you're pregnant. Make sure that your ribs are directly over your hips when you're twisting. If you start your twist from a slouched position, or even from a hyperextended position, that puts undue strain and stress on the muscles in the obliques and in the abdominal area because you're overstretching them or you're making them very slack. In either case, when you twist, you want to make sure that the ribs and the hips are really in alignment because that's the two pieces that are counteractive in the twist, if that makes sense. So you want to try and keep your hips still and twist the ribs. And I want you to do so from a very strong neutral spine. So you're going to take your arms out to the side from here. Use the band to help you remember to keep the chest open and the shoulders back. Grow tall. Lengthen through the bottom side of your arm so you're feeling your pinky finger reaching out away from the body. And then you're going to twist on an exhale. 1, go a little further. 2, and don't force it. 3, inhale, come back to center. We'll do it to the other side. 1, 2, 3, inhale, back to center. Exhale, 1, take your head with you. 2, 3, make sure your weight stays even in both sits bones. 1, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, inhale, one more each side. Last time. And back to center. Great job. From here, we're going to leave the band around the shoulders like this, and you're going to come up onto your knees. Once you're on your knees here, I want you to sit with your neutral spine. You might need to curl your tailbone under a little bit so that you're not sticking your butt out. And we're going to do a chest press from here. So you inhale, and on your exhale, push the arms forward, and I want you to think about pulling the ribs slightly in, and then bend the elbows. Let's do that again. Exhale, inhale, exhale, press, and bend. Try to tighten the muscles around the shoulders, around the chest as you press the arms forward. 3 more. And now I want you to push it forward again one more time, holding it there. Come up onto the knees. And if you want to, if it's more comfortable, you can widen your knees, bring the feet together in slight external rotation. We're going to do a hip hinge from here. Let's do a pelvic tilt first. So holding this resistance in the upper body, you're going to inhale to let the pelvis release. And on your exhale, scoop in and up. Let it go. Butt sticks out. Now pull the belly and the baby up and in. Try that again. Butt lets go. Belly pulls in. 2 more. Now, when you're in the correct positioning, you should feel as if you have a nice stretch through the hip flexors here. If you feel a stretch in your quad, that's a good sign that you're in the right position. If you're like this, you probably won't feel that stretch, and you'll feel more strain on your lower back. So what I want you to really aim for in the next exercise is getting that tailbone down. If you can do it with parallel legs, do so with parallel legs, and try to lift up through the belly, feeling a nice stretch in the hips. Here we go, back to the arms out in front. It's a hinge. Inhale from here, keeping your feet down. Exhale. Inhale, hold. Exhale up. Inhale again. Only go as far as you can maintain your positioning. Exhale. Inhale, hold. Exhale up. You should feel those quads. Inhale. Exhale back. Breathe in. Exhale up. Keep the glutes working too, and the hamstrings. Again, back. Breathing in. And up. 1 more. Breathe in. And up. Good. From here, widen the arms. I'll turn and face you for this one. We're going to do a nice side bend from here. Inhale. And on your exhale, I want you to bend to the side, trying to keep your hips even. So it's really only bending from the waist. Inhale back up. To the other side. Exhale. Try not to shift your hips to the side while you bend. Stay right on top of those knees. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale up. Nice width and length through the arms. And over. And up. Exhale. Ear towards the floor. Try to keep looking straight ahead. Exhale. And up. And again. Exhale over. Inhale up. One more time. You should feel a good stretch in one side and a strengthening as well in those obliques. Back up. All right, for the next exercise, go ahead and put the band down. We've moved the spine now in flexion, rotation, lateral flexion, and the only one missing we have is extension. So what I want you to do is, again, I'll face the side. Put your hands on your hips from here, and I want you to hug the elbows back. We're going to breathe in, and I want you to use your hands to remind yourself to curl slightly through the tailbone so that you're aiming for a neutral pelvis rather than sticking that butt out. From here, I want you to inhale, and then on your exhale, squeezing the elbows and shoulders back, lift the chest to the ceiling. Hold and breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale back up. Now, don't go too far. If you feel too big of a stretch here, then I want you to back off, okay? Let's try that one again with the hands where they are. Inhale, hug the elbows back. Exhale, lift the chest, the sternum and tailbone, the sternum and chest bone. The tailbone drops down towards the ground. Try to pull the ears back without dropping the head. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more breath in. And come back out of it. Now, if you feel up for it, and only if, you can try and put your hands on your heels for the full camel, okay? So we're going to start here again. Inhale. Exhale. Up and over. Hands can drop down towards the heels. And lift away from the fingers. Breathing in. Tighten the shoulders, breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Walk one hand up, other hand up, and come back to vertical. One last time. Open the chest. Hug those shoulders. Tailbone drops down. Strong stomach. Head back. Reach one hand at a time to the heel. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. And out. Walk your hands up. And we're going to sit back on the heels and round into a child's pose from there. Nice wide legs. From child's pose, take a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Walk yourself back, staying on your knees. Grab your band. We're going to do one more arm sculpting exercise before we keep going with the body weight. So you're going to do a triceps press. Grab one end in your right hand. Bring the band behind your back. Other hand comes here. Now, if this is not comfortable for you to sit like this, feel free to sit any way that is comfortable or stand. Elbow points forward. This is your anchor down here at your low back. Exhale, pushing up. 1 and 2. Shoulder draws down the back. 3, 4, 5, 6. Readjust the ribs. 7, last one, and 8. We're going to switch hands. Other hand comes to the top. Right hand becomes the anchor. Elbow faces front. Here we go. Exhale, 1 and 2, 3. Try to keep the upper arm fixed. 5, 6, 7. Ribs pull in. 8. Now take that band down. You can place it on the ground. Come on to all fours. Hands directly under your shoulders. Knees hip distance apart. Hugging the elbows in. We're going to start with a short plank. So I want you to curl your toes under. And we're going to be lifting the knees just a couple inches off the ground. So inhale from here. As you exhale, lift the knees and breathe. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Press into all 5 fingers, exhale down. You can hold that as long as you wish. I'm going to bring my hands under me a little bit more. You can hold for a few more breaths. Okay, inhale again, elbows hug in, push down into the arms, ribs pull in towards the spine, lengthen the spine as you lift the knees, breathing in, breathing out, in and out, knees down. Okay, now we're adding on to that. You're going to lift one leg off the ground. This should be a nice strong contraction in your quads while you do this, in addition to your core and your arms. Deep breath in. Exhale, knees up. Without coming any higher off the ground, lift one leg. Put it down. Lift, down. Lift, down. One more. Lift, down. Knees down. Breathe in. We're going to do it one more time. Let's do a quick cat-cow first. Round through the spine. Lengthen to neutral. Extend. Back to neutral. That feels so good. Let's do one more. Curl it up. Neutral. Lengthen. Open the sternum. Back to neutral. If your wrists are getting sore, you can make fists. Let's do it one more time. Curling the toes under, hugging the elbows in. Activate through the serratus anterior, which is right under here, and I want you to lift the knees. Inhale, one leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift. Down, last time. Lift and down. Knees down. Sit back in your child's pose. Great job. Breathe in. Deep breath. Exhale it out. I want you to push into your hands. Breathe in. Exhale it out. Walk yourself back. Knees come together. We're going to do a serratus push-up. So what the serratus anterior does is it essentially acts like a sling to keep your ribs and your shoulders in place, especially when you're weight bearing on your arms. So for instance, if you're out here and you're about to do a push-up and you start to sag in the rib cage, that is an indication to me that this muscle is not doing its job. So what I want you to do is actually, again, hug the elbows in because that's going to help you a little bit with the openness in the chest and shoulders. Push down into the mat as you hug those elbows in so that you feel like you're pushing down this way and you can feel this connect to lift your rib cage away from the floor. Now from here, knees are going to stay together for this one, and we're going to try and keep that sense of push into the floor as you bend your elbows and you aim your forehead straight to the mat. Bring it back up. Notice I'm not sinking into my shoulders first. So try that again. 3 bends. 1, 2, 3. Push up. 2 more. Actually 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and push. 1, 2, 3, and push. Keep the ribs pulled in. Last time. 1, 2, 3, and push. Come back. One arm comes up over the head. You stretch to the side. Bring it up. Other side. Up and over. I don't know about you, but I'm at 35 weeks. And at this point in time, that extra 30 pounds feels like a lot. And so take breaks whenever you need it. Take some deep breaths. Make sure you're not overdoing it. You never want to push yourself to the point of holding your breath, straining for any exercise. Like I said, mobility is really your goal. Strength and maintenance is your goal. And make sure you're hydrated with every workout you do, okay? So next we're gonna go into a forearm plank. We're gonna hold it for 3 deep breaths. And as you hold your plank, I want you to use your breath dynamically so that you're inhaling through the nose, and with your exhale, you can feel the muscles around your baby getting tighter. And then as you inhale, let them release only enough to take a full breath. Feel the breath expand your back. And again, exhale to pull everything back in. Now you can do a slight Kegel contraction here if you want, or Kegel. But I want you to make sure that you're not gripping in that Kegel contraction. I want you to engage your pelvic floor on the exhale. Let it release even on the inhale so that you're using it with your breath, okay? Coming out to your elbows. Hands are down. You're going to step back with one leg at a time and then lower the hips, open through the chest, tighten the glutes. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, knees down. Let's leave the elbows on the mat, separate the legs, shift the hips back, try to drop the chest. Feel a nice stretch in the upper back. Take a deep breath. Exhale, let the chest drop towards the floor. Look forward slightly. Inhale. Exhale. Coming back up, let's do one more set of that plank. One foot back, second foot back. Open the chest, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Knees down, widen the legs, hips back, chest down. Breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Walk yourself back. All right, next, watch dog from here. We're gonna come onto all fours. One arm is gonna go in front of you, the opposite leg goes behind. We're gonna start with just the legs. I want you to come onto all fours. You're going to really think about hip placement in this one. So as you take your left leg back, I want you to start with the toe on the ground. Just straighten that left leg. Make sure the hips haven't shifted. Take a look at this bottom leg, make sure it's vertical, and then lift the leg. Bring it back down. Other leg, slide the toe back, lift. Arms are strong. Let's do just legs again. Slide it back, lift. Hold the belly so that as you lift your leg, you're not arching and dropping in the spine. Okay, let's try that other side. Straighten, lift, down, one more, straighten, lift, adding the arm, opposite arm, hug the elbows in, lengthen through the spine, make sure your head is not dropping, slide it back, reach, and down, other side, back, reach, and down. Reach, strong stomach, shoulder stays down. Try not to let that shoulder lift towards your ear. Make sure you're not shifting the hips side to side. Keep them square. Last one each side. Last time. And bring it in. Okay, next, a glute exercise for you. You're going to take your band, come up onto your knees, put the band around your foot. With the band around your foot, curl your toes under. Take the band in between your hands, or in between your legs, sorry. And you're going to come onto an adapted all fours position. Notice how my left leg is slightly in front. I'm going to keep my hands fixed, And on my exhale, kick the leg back. Bring it in. 2. Now a longer band makes this a little bit more comfortable. 3. Squeezing the glutes. 4. Let's just do one more. And 5. Bring it in. To go to the other side, quick, simple way, let go of the outside hand. Swing that band around. Put it on the other foot. Adjust your all fours position. Exhale, kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring it in. Great job. Let go of the band. We're almost there. We're going to do a little more leg work. I want you to lie on your back. We're not going to be here long. Don't worry. Lie down. Take your time. From here, more glutes. Roll the shoulders under. Feet are hip distance apart. Take a deep breath in. Turn the palms over. Inhale again. Open through the chest. Exhale, tightening the glutes and hamstrings. Lift the hips off the ground. Breathing in. Hold and exhale. Breathing in. Exhale down. Inhale again. Exhale, lift. Once your hips are in the air, you don't have as much risk to that circulation problem that you may have heard about. Because your hips are up, you're actually getting more blood flow back to the heart in this inverted position. So I don't want you to worry too much from here, okay? Come down. Of course, if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, stop, roll to your side, and sit up. 2 more. Exhale up. Inhale to hold, lengthen the neck. Exhale to lower. 1 more time, breathing in. Exhale, lift. Hold it here. This time, inhale. Exhale, lift one leg. Put it back down. Exhale, lift the other. And down, trying not to shift the hips. Exhale. And down. You can lower the hips if you need to. Lift. And down. 1 more each side. As you lift the left leg, push down into that right leg. And again. Inhale at the top. Exhale, roll it down 1 vertebrae at a time. We're going to do 1 more set. Breathe in. Exhale, roll it back. Lift up to the shoulders. Try not to let your bum drop towards the floor. Lengthen through the low back. Tailbone points slightly up. Exhale, 1 leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, trying not to shift. Exhale. Or drop. Exhale. 1 more. Last time. Inhale at the top, roll your way down. Good job. Welcome back to the stretch sequence. For this sequence, I'm going to have you sit on a ball if you have one. If you don't have one, then feel free to use a chair. Chair works just fine. The advantage to using the ball is that because it's unstable, it gives you a little bit more of a core challenge and a proprioception or balance challenge while you are doing your stretches. So you're going to go ahead and start seated on the ball. And you're going to begin with your feet hip distance apart. I want you to start by just rocking your hips side to side so you can feel where your weight is shifting on the ball. I want you to get used to that shift because it's very important that you're able to recognize when you come off center. Then you can rock them forward and back, coming off the sits bones and then onto the thighs, off the sits bones to the back, onto the thighs. And then I want you to find those sits bones and sit right on top of them. Most people, when they're on their ball, tend to push their ribs forward and sit in a hyperextended position through the spine. But I want you to really find the sits bones, And then you should feel a little bit of activation here in your obliques to hold you upright from this position. It should be active to sit on the ball. From here, you're going to take your arms out to the side, and we'll start with a balance challenge. Actually, arms are out in front. I want you to tighten the stomach just gently, and you're going to lift your left leg as your right arm comes into the air. And you're trying not to shift the hips from side to side, trying not to lose your balance on the ball. Come back down, being careful not to lean back. Try the other side. Now you might notice that one side is a little more challenging than the other. For me, this side is harder. So what I have to think about as I lift that right leg is really rooting down through the right sits bone so that the whole body doesn't shift and tilt to the other side. All right, so try the other side. Left leg, right arm, shoulder stays down, spine stays tall, and again, I'm going to actively engage to make sure that my hips stay still. And let's try one on each side. Lift and lower. Last time. Lift and lower. Now, if you were able to do that successfully without too much wobbling, go ahead and try this next challenge. Otherwise, stick with that exercise. You're going to lift the same leg again and the opposite arm. But this time, you're going to slightly twist your shoulders and upper ribs around to the side and come all the way back and place the leg down. Other side. Lift the leg, lift the arm, trying not to move your hips as you twist around. It's a very small twist. Start small. Make sure that you're going slow so that you can catch your balance if you start to fall off. And we'll try it again. Right leg up. Make sure that right hip stays down as you twist. And bring the leg down. From here, place your hands on your thighs, widen the legs. We're going to do a hamstring stretch. I want you to push back so that your legs are almost straight, sliding your hands down towards your ankles. You're going to hold the stretch, and if you need to make your legs a little wider, please do, so that you have room for the belly. And you can go ahead and reach out for the feet. Your thighs should be on the ball. You might feel like your tailbone is lifting off the ball, which is fine. And I want you to try and lift through the chest. Think about your sits bones lifting up and back behind you, and your spine staying very long. Come back up. Let's do that again. Find the sits bones. Inhale here. Exhale, push back, straightening the legs, reaching for the feet. Lift through the chest. Feel a nice hamstring stretch here. Nice long back stretch as well. And then come all the way up. Now we're going to turn that stretch into another exercise called the saw. The arms are going to start out to the side. You want to make sure you're stacked with your ribs right on top of your hips. Slight activation in those obliques. I want you to twist to one side, and then as you exhale, you're going to turn your back hand over so the thumb faces down. You're going to reach the front hand towards the opposite foot, straightening both legs, and aim your ear to the opposite knee. Inhale, lengthen back up. Exhale, come back to center. Do the other side. So you inhale to twist. Reaching for the opposite leg, turn the back palm over. Ear comes to the opposite knee. You look behind you, and you come back to center. Inhale to twist. Exhale, stretch. Now imagine someone pulling you up from the back arm so that you get nice active work on the way back up. Inhale, twist. Exhale, press. Inhale, up. Exhale, center. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, shoulders down. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And back to center. Very nice. Now from here, you're going to take your legs a little wider. And I want you to turn the knees out to the side slightly. You're going to rest your elbows inside your knees. Bend forward, again with a long spine, keeping the chest lifted. And rock forward just slightly if you want a deeper stretch. Push the elbows into the knees to widen the legs and feel the inner thighs stretch out. Now remember, again, when you're pregnant, you have relaxin, the hormone, going through your body, which is intended to help you spread your hips, your pelvis, to make room for the baby. Now, what that means for you is when you're stretching, it's very easy to overstretch if you're not careful. You have to be really careful that you recognize your limits, because it's going to feel like you can go further than normal, but I don't want you to. I want you to make sure that you're holding back a little bit, and when you hold your stretches, don't hold it for longer than 30 seconds at a time. Okay? Come out of it. You can always do more than one stretch. So if you want to hold the first one for, say, 15 to 20 seconds, take a breather and go back into it, that's fine. Go ahead and go back in. Lengthen through the spine, keep the chest lifted. And then bring it back up. Now from here, keeping that turned foot, I want you to bring it right to the center. From here, take your other leg, cross the ankle over the knee. Now, this is where balance gets a little tricky, but taking the bottom foot and turning it out should help a little bit. This is a lateral rotator stretch for your piriformis. I want you to sit with your knee out to the side, your ankle on your opposite leg, and feel the hip stretch. Now, if this is already a stretch for you, go ahead and sit here. You can give it a little bit more stretch by pushing down gently on your knee. But if you want a little more stretch, you can try, and this takes balance, slowly straightening the bottom leg and bending forward. Now, if you choose to do this, you might want to put one hand on the floor or hold on to a chair next to you. You're going to hold it here and breathe. Take a few deep breaths. And then slowly make your way back up, bending your knee, and switch legs. So again, bottom leg can turn out for added assistance. Take the top leg, cross it over the knee. Gently push down on the top leg for some stretch here. Try to make sure your hips are not shifting side to side. One thing that you can do is look down at the supporting leg. The femur of that leg, or the top bone in the top of the thigh, should stay very straight. If you start to notice that it's kind of coming in at an angle like this, that means your hips have shifted. So you want to make sure your knee here is directly in front of this hip. Okay? And then if you'd like to, you can go ahead and straighten that leg. Press it forward. Watch your balance. And then come all the way back up. Very nice. From here, you're going to put your feet down. Take one arm up over your head, other hand to the ball. Bend up and over for a mermaid stretch. And as you bend to the side, let this hip drop down. Feel a nice long stretch through the waist. Make sure your ribs are right over those hips. Take a few deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. And then take a slight turn. Look over at the other hand. You might feel the stretch move slightly towards your lower back. Untwist and bring it back up. Other side. Left arm up, left hip drops. Shift slightly on the ball. Breathe here. And then take a slight turn, just turning to look at the floor. Keep reaching through the arm. Untwist and bring it back up. Now I'm going to have you come off the ball so you can widen your legs, pull the ball out, turn your knees down, and face the side. We're going to do a hip flexor stretch from here. For your sake, I'm going to keep the ball over here to my right, but for the first side, you would have the ball on your left with your right foot in front. Okay, so you will have your right foot in front, left hand on the ball. I'm going to move the ball around so you can see what my legs are doing. You're going to start in this lunged position on one knee, and you're going to let the ball roll forward for support as you shift the hips forward, getting a hip flexor stretch for the back leg. Keep the front knee right over the ankle, and make sure that your whole pelvis has shifted forward, that you're not sticking your butt out. From here, take a few deep breaths, and I want you to stay really lifted. If it feels like too much stretch on your stomach, back off a little bit and come back away from the front foot. You want to feel the stretch in the hip and thigh more so than in the front of the belly. If you do need to back off, you can back off and Tilt the pelvis under. That will still give you a hip flexor stretch. Okay? And then from here, straighten the front leg. Use the ball for assistance, one hand on the floor. Get another hamstring stretch from here. Pull that leg under you. Roll the ball around to the other side. Right hand on the ball, left foot in front. And then lunge forward. Scoot that foot forward a little bit. Now, as you're in your lunge, I want you to be careful not to open your hips and start to face the ball. Keep your hips square, and one thing you can do to do that is think about your inner thighs on both legs squeezing inward. So, if I'm in my lunge, I want to think about this knee coming inward, my inner thigh on the floor, or the inner thigh of the back leg, the leg that's on the floor, squeezing inward with both, and then lunging forward so that you make sure your hips stay square. Keep those inner thighs active and you'll get even more out of your stretch. It will also protect your lower back. Shift back into your hamstring stretch. And then take that knee back to meet the other. Sit on your heels, and for our last stretch, we'll do child's pose with the hands on the ball. This is great for your lats, your back, and your arms. You're going to widen your knees, nice and wide. Walk the hands forward, and then lean forward over the ball, keeping your elbows soft, and get a nice stretch. Now, if you want to, you can roll the ball from side to side and feel how the stretch changes. Keep the spine long. And then try lifting the head so your ears are right in line with the upper arm. Couple deep breaths. Now you're going to pull in through the tailbone to round yourself up. From here, leave the ball in front of you. Take your hands behind your back. Slide your thumbs down towards the tailbone. Roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. Come out of the stretch. And thank you so much for joining me.